Hello viewers, Tim Poole here, editor of Gambling Insider. I'm with a familiar face and old friend, Stephen Crystal, founder of SCCG Management. We've met around the world. This is the first time we've met in Asia. SiGMA Manila this week, the Asian market in general. Plenty of new learnings for us this week?
It's amazing, actually. Obviously, I've always known about the vibrant casino scene between Macau and Singapore, Malaysia. Some of my first trips outside of America were to see casinos in Asia. What I haven't fully appreciated till this show is how expansive the iGaming landscape is in terms of game studios, in terms of technology, in terms of market opportunity, and that has opened my eyes widely.
Obviously, there's plenty of markets of focus at the moment. You've done a lot of work in Brazil, and even in the US, new states opening up kind of sports and less so iGaming, but that will come. In terms of on a global scale, how do the opportunities in Asia compare to things like LatAm and maybe to a lesser extent the US, that kind of thing?
Look, I would say the U.S. is still our home base. We take a long-term view after 35 years working in that market. In the U.S., we've tended to focus on managed services and how brands and tribal brands in particular will function in the regulated gaming environment as things go digital. But a few years back, we decided to reinvest some capital into new markets like Brazil and more broadly LatAm. Obviously, those are regulated markets, those are maturing markets. Companies that are regulated feel comfortable expanding into those markets. And so that has been a focus of ours, a big focus of ours. Markets like Africa, a little less regulated, a little bit more of a concern for some operators. And then there are markets like India and MENA, which are really future-looking in terms of anticipated regulation. To be honest, I had overlooked a little bit what was happening on the iGaming side in Asia. And what opened my eyes today is that even for companies that thrive in regulated markets, there are regulated opportunities in Asia. And I think that's definitely going to be something on my agenda from here on out.
When it comes to Asia, Southeast Asia and iGaming, where in particular have you seen evidence or any conversations you've had of bright areas of potential and maybe high growth over the next couple of years?
Philippines, number one. That's why the show is here. That's why we had a big show of support from the chairman of PAGCOR. Philippines mean business. They want to be a center of iGaming. So that's number one. Vietnam has come up. I went to the Global Gaming Awards, and I saw that the winner in the Best Operator category came from someone doing iGaming business in Vietnam. So that should tell you something right there. Japan also as an iGaming market. So I think those stand out to me, at least preliminarily, but I think overall there are going to be more and more opportunities. The reason, if you want to think of it this way, 60% of the world's population between the age of 25 and 40 are Asians. So that's the statistic alone should tell you where the focus is ultimately going to be.
And in terms of verticals or parts of iGaming, we talked a little bit off camera about live slots because we've heard this week that live slots is very much on the up in the Philippines, for example. Any particular areas of business that you're seeing that you think, I've got my eye on that?
Look, I've been walking around today and talking to all the vendors. Obviously, there's a lot going on in terms of slot content in general. Everything from fishing games to crash games to more traditional slots. And it has an Asian localization to it. That's why the Asian operators coming from Taiwan or coming from mainland or Hong Kong, coming from throughout the region, Malaysia. I've met with different studios and they seem to have their finger on the pulse of what the Asian consumer wants. Live slots was one, virtuals is another. And again, what stands out to me is the localization of the content is really what distinguishes the suppliers that are here versus other shows.
Yeah, I mean, that localization, you certainly need it as some of the wants and needs of Asian players are very different, but also different markets within Asia are also very different to each other.
100%. It's not, and I've traveled extensively throughout Asia. It's not one size fits all, and you could make that argument about European markets or even in America. It's not one size fits all, and the name of the game at the end of the day is localization of content, and then kind of that personalization of the experience using all the tools that we know about so that the individual player is paramount in the process.
Well, Stephen, thanks very much for your time as always, and until we meet again.
Yes, I look forward to it.